This is very long overdue. It is finally time that I did a video about Hotel Inn. Hotel Inn? What is it called? Nightfall Inn? Nightfall Motel? I don't remember what they called this map at this point. I completely forgot. Right, starting off with map traversal. You can long jump up the stairs instead of having to go all the way around here. Very useful time save to just be able to just jump over rather than going around, and I don't see people always remembering to do that. Likewise, you can just jump off rather than going down the stairs. It feels quite obvious, but some people for some reason don't do that. These red things here are quite annoying, especially since they have a lot of health, but you can destroy them. You know, it just saves you having to jump over them. I don't know why they have so much health. You can also crawl underneath them if you wish. Just kind of annoying having to use up a ton of stamina while trying to get through this area here. You saw that took like a third of my stamina to do that. Windows are breakable, so you can just jump through these to get around the map and use these as ways to trick opponents and sort of make getaways without people figuring out where you ran off to. There is a ladder outside, so you can climb up on this to get onto the roof here. And then break this window and jump onto the chandelier up here. It can be used as a pretty good spot for shooting. Just shooting at anybody in this sort of general area. Usually staying here is somewhat effective. If somebody's coming up the stairs, they're almost certainly going to be looking at this direction when they're going upstairs, which gives you the perfect opportunity while they're going up the stairs to juke them, go back down and around. And hopefully if you weren't loud like that, maybe if you're using stealth or featherfall, then you can use that to try and trick people and run away. This here can be broken. Oh, I need to reload. This does lead you down into the kitchen. Oh, hello. In the kitchen there is a window that you can jump through if you so wish. It is kind of hard to jump through it from this side, but it is possible. Some other useful information is that these two paintings in the bottom of the sort of museum part of the inn, I'm not sure what this exactly is, but you can break either of these paintings here, and on the left side it will have some sort of just weird hiding spot area down here. Well, this painting will lead you straight into the kitchen. And this gives you a ton of places to go. You can go through the window, or you can come up here, and you can just use this sort of area to trick a lot of people and just make people lose track of where you've gone. It's sort of like the key point of this map is that so much of this is just going around the many different rooms and just making people get confused and lost to where you've gone. Here we have the boombox. This plays music. Last time that I played music on this, I think I got copywritten, so if I'm in your server, please don't turn this on, because I will end up having to mute the video. It is pretty cool music though. One last thing is that this chandelier in the middle of the room can be jumped towards, and you can get onto that. It can be broken, but unlike on Mana, how it makes the chandelier fall, it will not do that. It will straight up just disappear when you break it. I guess that's all for that, so we can go into hiding spots. Starting off with here, on either sides of the inn, there's just these small parts around the second rooms on the end. Not particularly good hiding spots, but sometimes can work, and it also has the windows here. If you need to escape, you can always jump out the window, go down there. Speaking of outdoors, you have the plants that you can lie down behind, that people from this angle over here cannot see you, or you can lie down inside of them too, but depending on how your avatar camouflages in there and the angle that you're lying down in and such, it might not be as reliable. The trees do have collision in this map too, so you can also try and make an avatar that blends into the trees and see if that works. Haven't seen anybody try that yet, but I'm sure that if you get the colors right, it could work. Unfortunately, on the previous version of this map, there was a hiding spot behind this wall that has since been taken out of the map, and you cannot get behind there. Luckily for this room, you still have a lot of objects here to lie down behind, such as this couch here. It proved to be a decent spot, as I don't see many people thinking to hide behind there. Continuing on with this room, we've got the other couch here that can also be laid down behind. Might be a bit harder to lie down here because of just the lack of space here, but you can lie down here. It's just a bit annoying too. Behind the counter can sometimes work. Obviously, if somebody is walking from this direction, they will see you lying down over here. If somebody is coming from this hallway here or from downstairs, they might not see you lying down there and they might just walk straight past. These rooms in here don't have too much to hide, to be honest. You can hide behind some of the objects or lie down behind some of them, but typically most of them don't really have any really good hiding spots. More or less just hiding behind objects and hoping that somebody doesn't think to look behind those. And the rooms are more or less just duplicated on each side. They are just about the same. You can also try hiding behind the doors, could work too. The restroom here, not a terrible hiding spot. I don't see too many people coming in here ever. I'm not sure why, people seem to just forget that this room even exists, to be honest with you. The lockers can sometimes work, depending on if people just simply remember to check them or not. Of course, as said before, you can hide in here, and this can just be used as a somewhat okay hiding spot. Not too many places to actually hide in there, to be honest with you. Up here, sometimes people can't check up here, or they don't remember to. You can also move these boxes slightly out of the way, and then try and hide behind them. You might need to get a second player to help you reposition them so that it doesn't look sus. Fortunately, you cannot break these, so hiding inside of the counters does not work on this map. Likewise, you can't really hide in the fridge on this map, sadly. This is like the one map where you can't hide inside of the fridge, because you can't open it, you just have to break it open. That's pretty much all of the hiding spots that I can at least think of. Not too many hiding spots, to be honest. Quite a small map, not too many places to hide. As for loadouts in this map, it is very enclosed, so as long as you have enough range on your gun to shoot from here to the end of that corridor over there in the pub, then you can use pretty much any weapon you choose. I would recommend something more close range based though. Really, honestly, most weapons will work. Maybe don't pick a sort of sniper weapon or something with a long range scope, because it's honestly not going to be necessary. As for vampire abilities, you are probably not going to want something like Huntsman or something that's about setting up traps, because a lot of the area is open, so you won't have too many places to actually put their traps without people noticing them. The only like proper doors in this place that you can set up traps would be inside of all of these rooms in here or in the bathroom, because everywhere else you would be able to see the traps clearly. So I'd recommend like something that's close range vampire ability, but like not about traps or ambushes, and more so of just like AoE attacks, like a grenade that can get like a ton of people in small crowds in small areas where they don't have too much room to move. As for gadgets, I'm not sure that I would recommend movement gadgets actually, because I find that you probably won't need them, because there isn't much map to get around in the first place, so you won't really need this to get to places faster or anywhere. Also makes things like flare kind of useless, because flare, half of the point of flare is that it tells you where the vampire is or where the danger is or whatever. But since the map is so small, you'll probably very soon find out where the danger is anywhere. And flare, the second use of flare is just a blind, and it isn't very good at that anyway, so. Drone also is kind of not very useful, because once again, marking people with the drone probably not going to be as useful on such a small map like this, as well as getting the drone up the many stairs and ladders and such in this map is just going to be so difficult. It could help if you've got a cloak vampire or somebody who's trying to be stealthy, trying to juke around a ton of different areas in this map, but even so, I don't think it's very much so worth it. Night vision goggles maybe not that useful, because you can just turn on all the lights in the map, and then at that point you can just see in the dark on pretty much every part of the map. Because I find that night vision goggles, usually you want to use it on the outdoors maps where there's a lot of dark areas that you can't really see and can't turn on lights there. The fact that it's almost completely indoors kind of makes it entirely useless. There's no dark spaces or anything that doesn't have a light switch that you can turn on. Axe isn't a great pick, simply because there isn't too much stuff that you need to break on this map. There's the windows and like a couple of the hiding spots that you can use the axe for, but if you're not planning on using those, don't pick axe. But smoke bombs could also be very good for sort of blocking off an entire doorway.
Oh no, not my other weakness. I can't deal with this.
And finally, barricade. There are a lot of small doorways and stuff on this map that you can barricade, so I see it as a pretty useful thing because there's not many actual doors on this map, so you can use barricade as a door essentially that you can choose who can enter through and who can't. And it can also be very useful to barricade off a certain area if you want to try and camp out a small area or something. Just make sure that there aren't any windows that people can use to get around your barricades, because most people try and barricade a room but they forget that there's windows in that room, so people just go outside and use those windows instead to get in. That would be about all I would have to recommend. The only additional thing is that since there would be so many abilities like wildfire or grenades and abilities like that on this map, because of the nature of it being such an indoors map, and there's also going to be a lot of people gathered around, that sort of makes holy water very useful for healing large groups of people at once, as well as sort of denying those area of effect attacks that the vampire might have on you. Yeah, I saw through that plan. Why am I bald? As for perks, probably don't pick Featherfall unless you're using some strats with like jumping down second floor onto the first floor. It's never going to come in handy. Because of the map being so small, maybe you would want to pick stealth just so that you can juke people around the small corridors and rooms and stuff very easily. Might prove to be beneficial for those who are good at being stealthy. That's about it for my guide. Hopefully I didn't miss any key spots or anything. I haven't done too much hiding on this map, I'm going to be serious with you, but out of the spots that I do know on this map, I think they are pretty decent. Maybe not everybody knows all of those. On screen are the next 3 picks for the next map that I do. If you're wanting to vote on what map I do a video of this next, then you can go onto the community tab of my YouTube channel and vote on the next map there. I just want to make a quick shout out to my Discord server. Link to that is in the description. Pretty cool there. We've got a ton of cool stuff. Thank you for 400 subscribers too. I don't have a special for that, but I have something very cool planned for 500 subscribers. Keep this up and we will see what that is.